Dying Light the Beast just launched, and I'm happy to report that it performs exceptionally well. I played for over 4 hours already, and it was a pleasure. In this video, I'd like to showcase how it works on the RTX 5090, on a 4K monitor, as well as on the ultra-wide 3440 by 1440p monitor. By the way, if you're interested in any of the products featured in this video, you can find them on Amazon at the links in the description below. Shall we start our testing at 4K resolution? Native DLSS, so that's DLAA enabled, and we're using high quality preset, which is the highest currently. The game developers have promised to add ray tracing into the game later on, so we might get another preset later on. And I don't know, maybe we'll revisit this game using the RTX 5090 then to check out the ray tracing performance, because I feel like ray tracing will look very nice in this game because it thrives on realistic graphics. Oh, and field of view is maxed out. After testing Borderlands 4 for a while, this game feels like a breath of fresh air. Just take a look at that performance. This FPS, wow, at native resolution. And this is also an open world game. That said, some textures in this game don't look high quality enough for 2025, so yeah, I'm not happy that the game developers didn't include some kind of higher resolution texture pack with this game, because other than that, this game looks phenomenal. It just shows that sometimes art style, direction can actually dictate what your game will perform like, and at some point there are some diminishing returns in terms of graphics and performance. The game can look good enough and perform exceptionally well and make us gamers really happy. It doesn't have to look absolutely fantastic, super high quality, push the boundaries. Of course, I'm happy to see when games do that, but at least give us an opportunity to, lower some graphics settings and make sure that the game still looks good on those lower graphics. Oh, take a look at that. That's a runner. Where is he? Oh my god! He's right there. Drop kick. That's like the bread and butter of this game. That's my favorite thing. Awesome performance, but for some reason there are a few stutters here and there. There is one more thing I'd like to check. Right now we're getting 120 FPS, right? There's this setting that sometimes messes with the performance, and that's asynchronous compute. Let's disable it and see if that will help increase our performance. Nope, it actually lowered the performance. So in this particular game, on this particular system, it's best to leave it enabled. Although, hold on a second, let's take a look at the frame rate stability. No, we still see those spikes sometimes, so it's best to leave the async compute enabled. Where is it? Hold on a second. Yes, there it is. Let's turn it back on. We can limit our frame rate to get rid of those stutters. Let's limit it to 90 FPS and see what happens then. Yeah, you see? The frame rate is almost absolutely smooth now. A flat graph, that's what we want to see. Yeah, let's go. This is a nice, smooth experience. By the way, this is the way I played the game. I locked my FPS at 90 and it was so smooth and enjoyable. Another thing I'd like to point out is VRAM usage. For native 4K resolution, 10 plus gigabytes of VRAM usage is pretty nice. So if you have a 12 gigabyte graphics card, you'll be absolutely fine even at native 4K resolution in this game with all the settings maxed out. Shall we check out DLSS quality mode? I think so, let's go. That lowered our VRAM usage a little bit and boosted our performance by quite a lot. Take a look at this. This is a true high refresh rate experience. 140 plus FPS with so much detail on screen. Wow. This game, it truly performs so well, and it's so nice to see that in 2025. The RTX 5090 is consuming a lot of power though. Take a look at that. 500 plus watts. It never ceases to amaze me how power hungry this GPU is. By the way, this game has frame generation. I don't know, shall we check it out? DLSS and multi-frame generation is also available, so let's take a look at the 2X. Jesus Christ! 200 plus FPS on the 2X frame gen. Hold on a second, let's just take a look at how many frames are being generated. Yeah, our real frame rate is 117 right now. That's insane. Let's take it up a notch and enable the 4X frame generation. Sheesh, almost 400 FPS. But our real frame rate is down to 95. Yeah, oh, 400 plus FPS. 450. Wow, that's like Counter-Strike or Fortnite level of performance. I'm saying performance, but it's not really performance though, is it? Just your daily reminder, frame generation is not boosting your performance, it's boosting the image fluidity. Right, enough of that madness, let's turn frame generation off and lower DLSS quality to balanced. There truly is no need for frame generation in this game because it is very easy to achieve high frame rates even without it. Take a look at this. 160, 170 plus FPS, DLSS balanced. This looks good, feels great, 180 plus sometimes, amazing. And our CPU can do more actually. We're still not CPU limited. So, I'm curious to see like, how far can we take it? Because this is the 9800X3D in there. The fastest gaming CPU. Let's drop the DLSS quality to performance mode to see if we will become CPU limited then. No, still not CPU limited. The GPU is still very much nearly fully loaded. And we're getting close to 200 FPS. Insanity. And because this is DLSS 4, the game still looks nice and detailed. Oh, he's gonna get me. No, get away. No kisses today. Right, where was I? As I was saying, DLSS 4 performance mode looks great even on a 32-inch 4K display. Obviously, we start seeing some visual imperfections on thin objects, such as that wire over there, for example. It now has difficulties anti-aliasing properly, so there's that, but if you're not focusing on those kind of things, the game still looks brilliant. However, because there are quite a lot of wires hanging in the air throughout the city, it is kind of noticeable. So, I don't know. I prefer playing this game on DLSS quality mode. But just to find out where that limit of the CPU is, let's lower the DLSS quality all the way to ultra performance. There are some wild FPS swings. Take a look at that. 150 over here, 180 over here. Something is a little bit broken, I think, just because of how many frames are being produced on the screen. Yeah, it's strange. We're getting dips to around 155 over here. I wonder if that's normal. And we're now CPU limited actually, because our GPU is absolutely not fully loaded. It's hovering at around 80+% utilization, 195 FPS. But that performance doesn't make much sense. So let's go back to the DLSS performance mode. Yeah, the FPS is a little bit lower, so we went from 195 to 187, and the GPU is now almost fully loaded. Yeah, there are still those FPS swings, unfortunately. Alright, I think for the best experience in this game on the RTX 5090 on a 4K display, we should do this. DLSS quality mode, maxed out settings, and cap our frame rate at 120. This way our frame rate stays at 120 consistently almost at all times. And this feels good. This is a nice and fluid experience, and your GPU doesn't have to work as hard. It's hovering at around 450 to 480 watts, depending on the scene. Yeah, beautiful. It's always good to see a game support ultra-wide monitors day one. And this game does not disappoint. Unfortunately, I can't see any HUD customizations that would allow you to, control your HUD elements, but it works quite well. They put everything here, closer to the center. For me, that is perfect, because I don't want to be looking over there all the time. I want to have access to those HUD elements right there, in the corner of my eye. Nice and convenient. And the game does look stunning on an ultra-wide monitor. It's beautiful. The field of view is much wider. That is something I truly adore about ultra-wide monitors. The immersion is on a whole next level. And I hope I can get a 5K, 2K ultra-wide monitor one of these days. Because, I expect that will look even more impressive than this 3440 by 1440p monitor. Let's take a look at native resolution using NVIDIA's DLSS and maxed out settings, high. The performance is quite beautiful, no need for upscaling. You can just enjoy native beauty of this game at this resolution, no issues. We can even cap our frame rate at 120 to make sure that it's nice and smooth. But if you want maximum performance at all times, then here you go. You can have something like 120 to 150 FPS depending on the scene. And this is outdoors. Indoors, the performance is much better. Take a look at this scenery. Beautiful. The VRAM usage is close to 9 GB, just above 9, so if you have a 10 GB graphics card, then this should be fine. Hold on a second, I just noticed that something is wrong with my statistics over there. Some things are missing. There we go, that's better. Everything is loaded properly now. The GPU temperature, the CPU power, everything is right there. Okay, let's take a look at upscaling. DLSS quality mode. That lowered our VRAM usage a little bit. We're now below 9 GB and increased our performance by, I can't say that this is an earth-shattering levels of performance increase, but it's difficult to judge those kind of things when you already have well above 100 FPS to begin with. I guess it's nicer, but is it that much better than previous experience? No, I don't think so. Oh my god, they really want some kisses. No kissing. Get away. On this monitor, DLSS quality looks great in this game, so if you want more FPS, or just lock your FPS and make sure that it stays firmly at 120, for example, then yeah, you can do that. Actually, let's try that now. Let's cap our frame rate at 120 and see what that's like. There we go. The GPU is now working at around 70 to 60% utilization. The frame rate is absolutely smooth. It can't get any smoother than this. Take a look at that. Beautiful. And the power usage on the GPU is now below 400 watts, which is nice to see, because if you are playing your games in a smaller room like I do over here, Yeah, that kind of power consumption can get to you real quick in the form of heat inside of the room. What will happen if we introduce frame generation into the mix? Let's start with the 2x mode. DLSS stays on quality mode, graphics maxed out. Yeah, even with frame generation enabled, our real frame rate is staying at around 120 now, providing us with a beautiful experience, high refresh rate, well above 200 FPS, sometimes reaching 300. So if you have a 240 Hz version of this monitor, then you can absolutely take full advantage of that. I have a 175 Hz display, so I can't appreciate every one of those frames, unfortunately, but this feels very, very fluid. Amazing experience. I think we should do something about this zombie infestation. Let's do that. Oh my god, this game is satisfying for a zombie apocalypse lovers. I'm not a huge fan, but damn, I love Dying Light. I didn't enjoy the second game because I didn't like the story. It was horrible in my opinion. But the first game, wow, that was good. And so far, after about 4 hours of gameplay, the story in this game is, I can't call it a masterpiece, it's just okay. But the gameplay is really fun. I'll definitely keep playing this game. We should also try the 3x frame gen. 300 plus FPS, close to 400, oh my, get away. Beautiful, beautiful experience, super fluid. This one's for the future monitors when we'll get 360 Hz ultra-wide displays. That will be great to see frame generation, you know, unlocking those frame rates for us in the future. But for now, 400 FPS is just way too much. And that's not the maximum actually, because we still have to check out the 4x frame gen. Let's do that. And now the FPS is close to 500. That's just pure insanity. My god. Oh, above 500. Over here, 450. Easy, easy. And the experience still feels nice and responsive because we're still rendering about 120 real frames, which means that our latency is nice and low. Oh, look at that. The main character is trying to imitate me in my videos. Alright, let's wrap this up. Overall, this is a beautiful experience, especially on the RTX 5090. I really like that this game supports ultra-wide day one, and even at 4K resolution, it works perfectly fine. It is a little bit disappointing that they didn't launch the game with ray tracing day one as well, because I was really looking forward to that. But they promised to bring ray tracing into the game at a later date, hopefully soon. So we might revisit it, because the game should feel and look differently with ray tracing. I feel like the ambience of this game will completely change with full ray tracing enabled. Yeah, it will become even scarier at night and more impressive during the daytime. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. It helps out a lot. I appreciate it. And let me know in the comments below. What do you think about the game so far? And about the performance as well. And subscribe for more videos like this if you haven't already. It was I, Vadim. Until next time.